This is the story of The Chipmunks Join the Circus. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear the chimes ring like this. Let's begin now. When Alvin and the Chipmunks heard the circus was in town, they hurried to invite the Chipettes. Alvin led the way.
You'll love Uncle Ben's circus. It's the greatest, most colossal show in town. I remember it fondly from my childhood days.
Simon leaned forward with a grin.
Yeah, last year.
When they finally rounded a corner and saw the circus, Eleanor couldn't believe her eyes.
Alvin, you mean this is Uncle Ben's? The greatest, most colossal show in town? I don't get it. There are no performers, no animals, the tents are torn and patched, the place is a mess.
Brittany looked around with a frown.
A lovely place, Alvin.
Suddenly, something grabbed Theodore and lifted him into the air.
Help!
He found himself face to face with an elephant, its trunk wrapped securely around him. Alvin laughed.
It's just Pinky. Hi, Pinky. Remember me? I think she just wants your peanuts, Theodore. Okay, here's a peanut.
Theodore held one out, but Pinky grabbed the whole bag and popped it into her mouth.
I said a peanut.
Alvin gazed around the circus.
If Pinky is still here, then Uncle Ben must be too. I wonder where he is.
Suddenly, Pinky grabbed Alvin with her trunk and trotted off. Eleanor called after them.
Oh, wait, Alvin! Where is she taking you? To see Uncle Ben, I hope. Come on!
As Brittany watched the others follow, she scowled.
That Pinky sure is pushy.
Outside Uncle Ben's office, they hopped up onto Pinky's trunk and peeked through the window. Uncle Ben was pleading with someone.
Please, Mr. Snively, I need more time to pay off my loan. Business has been bad. I've had to let all my performers go.
Snively sneered at him.
Sorry, but the bank has no choice but to close down the circus.
Alvin couldn't believe his ears.
Not the circus of my childhood! Pinky, let us down.
As soon as Pinky slid them into the office, Alvin jumped on Uncle Ben's desk.
We'll raise the money!
Snively stared him down.
Who are you?
I'm Uncle Ben's partner.
Snively threw a stack of bills at Alvin.
In that case, you're responsible for half the debt. You've got 1 week to pay it off, or the circus belongs to the bank.
Snively stalked out. Alvin slipped his arm around Brittany.
I know I can count on you to help us raise the money. How about a celebrity circus?
After thinking about it for a moment, Brittany's eyes lit up.
Not a bad idea. The Chipette and Chipmunk Celebrity Circus. You mean the Chipmunk and Chipette Celebrity Circus.
Before they got any further, Uncle Ben stepped in.
I can't thank you enough for wanting to help me.
Simon shook his head.
Thank us after you've seen our acts.
A few days later, the Chipmunks were ready to show off their part of the show to Uncle Ben and the Chipettes. Alvin was the ringmaster.
Feast your eyes on a dynamite act! Simon, the Chipmunk Cannonball!
Crash helmet in place, Simon reluctantly slid down inside a huge cannon. With a flourish, Alvin yanked the fuse cord.
Away he goes!
But instead of an explosion, the cannon gave a tiny pop, then tilted down, dumping Simon on the floor. He sat up and grinned at his audience.
It'll get better. We're still working on it.
Alvin quickly moved on to the next performance.
I direct your attention to Theodore and his death-defying high wire act!
Timidly, Theodore edged out onto the high wire. He took a few steps, then lost his balance. At the last moment, he caught himself. Beaming with pride, Theodore bowed to Uncle Ben and the Chipettes. Jeanette clapped and cheered, but Brittany just stared at her.
Jeanette, that high wire is a low wire. He's only 6 inches off the ground. I can't wait to see what's next.
Alvin came out carrying a whip and stool.
For the grand finale, yours truly, the Lion Tamer Extraordinaire!
He pulled aside a curtain, revealing Pinky disguised as a lion. Brittany put her head in her hands.
This is pathetic.
Alvin cracked his whip and pointed at a burning hoop.
Jump through the hoop, Pinky!
The elephant shook her head, no. When Alvin repeated his command, she sucked up a trunk full of water and put out the fire. A second later, she drenched Alvin, too. Now it was the Chipettes' turn to show off their acts. Alvin leaned closer to Theodore.
We'll have to be easy on them. They haven't practiced long.
The words stuck in his throat as the girls appeared in beautiful costumes and began hanging from gymnastic rings by their teeth. Brittany let go, did 3 somersaults as she fell, and landed upright on Pinky's back. Simon gazed at them wide-eyed.
Alvin, they're terrific.
While the Chipettes rode on the elephant's back, a sinister figure appeared from behind the bleachers. It was Snively. He continued to watch as Eleanor and Jeanette performed amazing feats on trapezes. For the grand finale, they released the bars and landed on Pinky's back, joining Brittany. Snively scowled, then sneaked away. As Simon and Theodore stood and applauded, Alvin yawned.
It needs work, but you can probably get it in shape by showtime.
The night before the show, Simon and Theodore were making posters when Alvin raced in.
It's all set. Dave's going to be ringmaster. With Pinky and the Chipettes, our circus will be a smash.
Just then, the phone rang. It was Uncle Ben.
Snively repossessed Pinky. She's locked up in the city pound.
Alvin was furious.
He can't do that. The loan's not due until tomorrow. But don't worry, Uncle Ben. We'll handle it.
Alvin turned to his brothers.
Let's go pay Pinky a visit.
After changing outfits, the Chipmunks and Chipettes gathered outside the city pound. Alvin gave the orders.
Everybody be quiet so we don't get caught. Now follow me.
He threw a rope over the wall and began climbing, with Simon and Theodore close behind. Brittany called after them.
Wouldn't this way be easier?
Alvin looked down and saw that she had swung the front gate open. It hadn't even been locked. Inside the pound, Brittany tapped Alvin on the shoulder.
I'll check to see what's ahead.
She rounded the corner and almost bumped into a guard.
Oh, hello. I was just looking for Main Street. I must have taken a wrong turn. Can you help me?
While she distracted the guard, the other slipped behind him and went in search of Pinky. Several minutes later, Brittany was still talking to the guard as Alvin and the others led Pinky toward freedom. Alvin was the first outside.
I can't wait to see Snively's face when he sees Pinky starring in our circus tomorrow.
As they guided Pinky through the front gate, she got halfway through, then stopped. Alvin slapped his forehead.
Great, she's stuck. What do we do now?
Simon groaned.
We get caught.
Alvin wasn't ready to give up.
No, we give Pinky a bath.
He found a bucket of soapy water and told Pinky to start spraying.
That's it, Pinky. You've got to get real slippery or you won't fit through the gate.
Suddenly, Pinky trumpeted and Alvin saw the guard coming toward the gate.
There's no more time. Push, Pinky.
Everyone pushed and strained, and with a sudden pop, Pinky slid free and disappeared into the bushes. The next day, Alvin stood by the circus entrance and called to the crowds.
Hurry, hurry, hurry! See amazing acts of skill and daring! See the funniest clowns! The most beautiful girls! The most talented performer in the world! Me!
After the last tickets were sold, Simon counted up the money.
I'm not sure we sold enough tickets, Jeanette. It's awfully close.
Inside, Dave Seville walked into the center ring dressed as the ringmaster.
Welcome to Uncle Ben's Celebrity Circus. Our first act is Theodore and Eleanor, the world's funniest clowns.
The pair drove into the spotlight in a rattling old car that wheezed, then sputtered to a stop in the middle of the ring. They jumped out to fix it, but when Theodore cranked the engine, the car scooted off without them. As the clowns raced off after it, the crowd responded. Dave introduced the next act.
In the center ring, we have Pinky, the roller skating elephant.
The crowd cheered as Pinky came skating in. Alvin stood on her back this time, holding Brittany on his shoulders. He winked at Brittany.
Don't worry, I'll catch you. I have reflexes like a cat.
Brittany flipped into the air, and as Alvin caught her, they both tumbled off Pinky's back. Brittany sat up and glared at Alvin, who grinned at her.
I caught you. That's all I guarantee.
In a corner of the tent, Uncle Ben handed Snively the money to pay off the loan.
Here's my payment on time, Mr. Snively. You thought we couldn't do it, didn't you? You haven't done it. You're $2 short.
Ben couldn't believe his ears.
But Mr. Snively, it's only $2.
Snively shook the wad of money.
The terms of the loan are clear. You pay in full, or you lose your circus.
As Ben's shoulders slumped in defeat, Simon had an idea.
Wait, Mr. Snively. Where's your ticket?
I didn't buy one.
Then you owe us $2, and that pays off the debt.
Snively leaned toward Simon.
Well, I won't pay.
Before Snively could leave, Pinky grabbed him with her trunk and lifted him high into the air. While Snively struggled to free himself, Pinky skated around and around the center ring, holding Snively for everyone to see. The crowd thought that it was all part of the act, and Snively cringed when they started clapping.
Okay, I'll pay.
Simon called to the elephant.
Okay, Pinky, you can put him down. Uncle Ben's circus is saved.
Brittany caught Simon's arm.
Let her do a few more laps around the ring. Can't you see how much she's enjoying herself?
Alvin nodded in agreement.
Yeah, besides, they do make an awfully pretty picture, don't they?
That was the end of the story.